My name is Anne Vanreusel. I'm from Ghent University in Belgium. I'm a marine biologist and I'm doing deep sea research since 1990 already. I started in a European project, and that is the interesting aspect of deep sea research, that it is always done in the international context. So I was able to join many cruises on board of German, French, Portuguese, British vessels, and it resulted in a lot of collaborations, and it's a really nice community to work with.
And to start, can you give me a definition of deep sea?
For me, the deep sea is everything beyond the shelves. You know, our continents are surrounded by a relatively shallow shelf going from the beach up to about 200 meters water depth, from a few to many kilometers outside the coastline. But then the slope increases, and at that break from shelf to slope, for me, that's the start of the deep sea. So everything beyond that shelf break at 200 meters water depth is deep sea.
Do you think that different countries may have different definitions of deep sea?
I guess so. I mean, even scientists may sometimes use different definitions of the deep sea. Countries may have different policies, different strategies, which results in different definitions of deep sea. And it's important there is consensus on that, because sometimes you hear people talking about I'm doing deep sea research, and then they work at 100-meter water depth on a shelf. So that generates a lot of confusion, of course.
And what do you think is the main knowledge gap in the deep sea research and ecology?
There are many things we don't know. I mean, luckily there is an increasing effort since a few decades, thanks to the technological development of the deep sea. But there are still so many areas where nobody ever went, where we even don't know if what the bathymetry is, what the topographical structures are. Are there sea mounts? How big are their sea mounts? What are their slopes? So we still need to do a lot of exploration. We need to make use of new technology which allows us to do a more rapid assessment of both habitat heterogeneity and biodiversity. But we also still need to use the traditional tools, look at the species, identify the species, look at their functions in a system. So the combination of new technology and fundamental biological insights, those two things should be combined, and in that way we can get a better understanding of deep sea ecosystems and their function.
With all of those knowledge gaps, in which direction do you think the research will proceed, will go on in the future?
I think we have to make use of new technology. Just to give an example, we now have molecular techniques which allow to maybe process in a quicker way to assess biodiversity. But we also need to use traditional knowledge on morphology and combine that with these new tools. So that is a way forward. The same for the use of AUV autonomous underwater vehicles, and they are capable of exploring large areas by means of video footage. It's definitely a tool which we need to use in combination with experts that are able to identify specimens, use means to collect these specimens, and then get a better idea of the distribution of these species.